right, in our last segment here, let's talk program. Let's get to the substance, the content of politics, economic populism, but it's got to be based on program. What do you want to do? What's the point of all this? I got it in 5 points. Each one of these, it could be 2 pages, it could be 200 pages, depending on how specific you want to get. The number 1 point, measures to reduce speculation and minimize the burden of fictitious capital. So stop all bailouts to banks and financial institutions. Claw back the TARP, including that money given to foreigners by AIG under the pressure of Geithner. No more too big to fail. Get rid of that. J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, they're all bankrupt. Seize them by the FDIC. Put them through Chapter 7 liquidation. Eliminate derivatives by triage. Reinstitute Glass-Steagall. There are persistent rumors that Paul Adolf Volcker has on a deathbed conversion in the White House is arguing you got to reinstall Glass-Steagall. Put a firewall between banks on the one side, proprietary trading, speculating, stock jobbing, brokerage on the other, and thirdly, insurance. Make those mutually exclusive. You can pick banking, stock jobbing, and proprietary trading, or insurance, but one of them, and not any more than one. Above all, a 1% Tobin tax, securities transfer tax, trading tax on all financial transactions, including, above all, derivatives. Outlaw credit default swaps and adjustable rate mortgages. Stop foreclosures on primary residence. Restore state usury laws. That would be for credit cards, predatory payday lending. Make a 10% limit on that, or lower if you can get it. Re-regulate commodities markets. The oil price has gone up 13% during the month of October, and you're going to be paying that soon. Based on what? Based on Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley driving up the price. Then we've got to nationalize the Federal Reserve, 0% federal credit for production, and start with $1 trillion. You want to create, and this is your goal, 30 million new, well-paid, productive jobs. Take the official unemployment statistic, 15 million unemployed, and double it, because that's the real unemployment. That's underemployment, people who have been discouraged and never came out of the woodwork or have dropped off the rolls after they exhausted their benefits. The third one, and the most interesting in terms of the real economy, measures for infrastructure, science drivers, job creation, and the restoration of a high-wage economy. That is, conservatives, the American tradition. You want to be an American system traditionalist? You got to be for a high-wage economy, not a low-wage sweatshop economy. What made the U.S. great? Obviously, high value added, high capital intensity, high energy intensity, high pay, because you want to create surplus value. It's got to come from highly qualified, well-trained, competent, capable labor force people, and in order to get that, they've got to have a living standard that goes with it. Now, I've called for 50,000 miles of ultra-modern maglev rail reaching into every state. You've got to rebuild the entire interstate highway system to 21st century Autobahn standards, not this pockmarked moonscape that we've got with bridges falling down. Rebuild your drinking water and wastewater systems nationwide and indeed continent-wide. Promote irrigation and canal building. Open up the water for those people in the Imperial Valley of California. We cannot sacrifice human civilization to the needs of some obscure species of plant or indeed fish, or God knows what they have in mind. I guess they're doing it based on the salmon, if you can figure that one out. Let's look at the nuclear question, though, because there's some interesting developments on this. First of all, on the negative side, Obama goes on a trip this week to tout his green energy scam, his green job scam. $3.4 billion, not for new power lines or new generating equipment to keep the grid going. He wants to have smart meters Now, a smart meter does this. A smart meter reaches into your home. This is a totalitarian device. This is the long arm of Big Brother, a Malthusian Big Brother, that on a day when a brownout is going to occur because Obama refuses to build generating capacity, they're going to come in and turn off your air conditioner so you can swelter, and you're going to leave your dishwasher loaded when you go to bed, and the smart meter will turn on your dishwasher in the night when the price of electricity goes down. This reminds me of Obama's Oregon speech about you can't eat what you want, you can't have the car you want, you can't have your living room at the temperature you want. This is absolute environmentalist wacko hysteria. We've also got Biden touting the Fisker automobile, right? They've taken over an empty General Motors plant, and they're now building electric cars, which I suppose at the limit is better than nothing, certainly. But these are luxury hybrids, $40,000 a pop and up. This is not going to solve anything. Now, the Republicans, well, have they got anything at all to say about this? Well, a couple of interesting things. Concerning nuclear energy, right, I'm calling for 100 new plants immediately. Start them all simultaneously. That would be 100, because that's what you've got to replace. You've got about 103, 104 plants going in the U.S. They're getting old. We want to replace them. We need fourth-generation, pebble bed, very high temperature, ultra-high temperature reactors of the most modern type, 1,000 to 2,000 megawatts each. So what's the word? The obviously the Obama administration, nothing on that score. The Republicans, this is now the Pence plan. We've talked about this before. Congressman Mike Pence of Indiana and now Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee, they talk about 100 nuclear plants by 2030. So they're talking about taking 20 years to build 100 nuclear plants. What happens in the meantime, dear Republicans? Right? This is not the thinking that won World War II. This is a very, very small, crabbed scale. Not thinking big at all. We've even got Energy Secretary Chu. Now, this is the Obama regime. The Energy Secretary in the Obama regime, Secretary Chu says we ought to build tens of reactors, but he doesn't say when. Now, the interesting thing is this has become timely because the odious, infamous, and suicidal carbon tax bill, the cap and tax or cap and trade monstrosity, the imposition of Al Gore's insanity on the U.S. and indeed on the world by doubling, tripling the export price of U.S. wheat, corn, rice, and other absolutely critical foodstuffs, killing hundreds of millions of people in sub-Saharan Africa. This is now bait. The Republicans, with the help of Lindsey Graham and others who are open to the Al Gore hysteria, they're trying to build in token construction of nuclear plants into the cap and tax bill. And they're saying, essentially they say 100 reactors is way too much. We can build a few. The estimate is, coming from these guys, is that every nuclear plant costs $8 to $10 billion, so that if you want to build 100 of them, you're talking $1 trillion. Well, if that's what it takes, do it now, because whatever it costs now, you can only be sure of one thing. It will cost more later.